Oh, hello. I was just hosting this internet show. My name's Jeff Gerstmann. We're back for E3 2017. The saga continues here on night 1. And I'm joined by a couch full of guests. Down there in the end, we got Spencer from Itch. How's it going?
Hi.
Do we pronounce it Itch or Itch-io or?
Oh my God.
All right, we're already digging into this.
No, I want to get into the meat of this.
I have opinions.
We have also have Adam from Finji and Felix from Felix.
Yes, thank you.
.zone.
.zone. That was you. That was all you.
I know the brand standard. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so officially it's either Itch.io or Itch.io.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Itch.io's become canon?
Yeah.
Is it because people refuse to say the correct thing? And so now...
I can't state that. I can't comment on that.
Yeah. It's Itch.io.
Yes. Itch.io.
Itch.io.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Itch.io is like, that's, you know,
yeah,
if you were saying any other URL, that is exactly how you would do it.
Yeah.
But Itch.io!
Itch.io, there we go. That's the best way to do it.
It's like the studio that's doing great still.
Yeah. No, they're on top of the world. Man, now I'm all bummed out.
Yeah,
No, that was
harsh.
sorry.
What's up?
Let's get back to brand standards. Like
all right.
Yeah, that's what
what is a
people wanna
Finji? And how do you spell? Is it capital F, lowercase the rest, all caps? Finji in all caps.
Lowercase.
Technically, the brand is officially stylized with a capital F.
Okay.
And a lowercase rest of the letters.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just it was like a nickname for one of our sons.
Oh.
So one of our sons is named Kingsley, and so there's a little crown for him, and then Finji was a nickname for our son Finnegan.
Oh.
But also, it was also kind of spoofing on Shinji Mikami, who I have a pretty big crush on.
So
like you do.
Did you ever think about adding was it ever like oh, what's called like Finji Hikami?
Oh no, it was called a bunch of terrible things. I wanted to call it. It was originally going to be called the Bearing Institute, and there was going to be a whole fucking. No, Becca fucking flatlined this in 0 seconds. She was like,
Thank God
oh, hell
for your
no.
wife.
Yeah, no, for real. There was going to be like a whole like alternate reality thing about this like.
Oh, good.
This school, this academy that was in Alaska, and they were doing secret research, and that was going to be our game. It was awful.
And then you would have to do all your interviews in character?
Yeah.
Like the rentals.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was that. So that's what I was gonna do. So I'm good at my job.
That sounds really fun. I mean, to be fair, like the idea of just
we'll do that for a thing sometime, but we're not gonna stake like probably our entire family's like future on that particular version of it.
I don't know. It sounds like someone's not dedicated.
My brand has changed so many times over the years that I can't.
Yeah.
But the game that I'm here with, Tunic, is
also has changed.
Also has changed many times.
So this week is called Tunic.
Currently, it is definitely Tunic, and it is stylized in all caps.
Okay.
Because a video game in all caps is stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like objectively.
Quantitatively.
Yeah.
I will say, as a writer, we tend to never honor the all caps stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's why we kept it to 5.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable ask.
It is.
It's at some point, because then
that's not a whole caps lock. That's just
right.
that's
you can hold shift for
extra
that.
couple shifts.
Yeah. But it just it feels unfair to other video games when you do that.
Right.
You know, if you type them that one in all caps because that's how they stylized it, but the rest of them don't, then like it stands out in a way that sometimes feels biased, unfair.
Unfair. I'm unfamiliar with.
Also, like honest, if you really want to go down this rabbit hole with me. We used to have a product database back in the day that would have insane game titles in it because the things they would have to trademark or use as the official retail name of a game, you would see shit like Unreal Tournament for Microsoft Windows. Like that was the full
like
name.
Yeah,
like that was the full real.
Like,
and then it would be like Unreal in all caps and Tournament and
with the rights reserved stamp and the TM stamp and all things.
That shit too, I imagine. And games that are on itch.io, I'm sure, are always full of all types of brand, But like, that's
only normal English characters.
I was gonna say, you can upload whatever you want, you can name it anything and everything.
Yeah.
All kinds of fun stuff.
So itch.io has been like a really fun platform to watch, because I don't know if you know this. There's
Educate
some
me.
wild shit on that platform.
Are you sure?
Sometimes when I look at that, I'm like, what even is this? And There's some pleasant surprises. There's some stuff that's not so good. Sometimes it happens. You take the good with the bad.
It's almost
You
like video
do.
games.
It's almost like video
Are you trying
games.
to say video games are complicated things?
So-
Okay, all right. Let's not get carried away.
itch.io has a super good deal right now too, where they are waiving their $100 direct fee,
Oh, that's sweet.
and you can
Putting
just
those
upload.
deals right here for me. I don't have
Yeah.
Wow. So you can get listed on the service
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a lower
Temporary deal. So I would sign up
All right. Well, I'm gonna get to
this
making
week.
a game.
Hashtag E3 2017.
But it's,
Tweet about it. Get it out there. Gotta get those brand hashtags.
itch.io is what's the guiding philosophy behind that? What got it started?
Yeah, so, I mean, kind of the core of everything that we do, right, is we're looking for what can be as useful to as many people as possible, which is not super fun, I guess, but it's real nice. So kind of everything we do is built out specifically for like developers and creators and customers, and so.
Spencer, do you want to talk a little bit about Refinery? Which is one of itch.io's
I think we should. So itch.io
God.
Refinery is a great early access alternative where you can put your games up before, maybe before they 1.0. Do you have any experience with itch.io Refinery?
Well, it turns out that our premier turn-based survival game, Overland, is available exclusively on itch.io Refinery.
Yeah.
Overland, that
And
sounds fun.
the tool set has been absolutely critical for us to develop a game that we think real gamers are going to appreciate.
Wait.
Esports.
Real Gamers TM.
So Overland is Overland. I feel like last year was Overland a game that you could buy if you were lucky. Like
Yes.
if you happened to load up a web page on the right day, you could buy a
Yeah,
copy
that
of
was my
Overland.
experience at least.
Yeah,
Because I feel like
yeah.
after E3, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go check out Overland. Maybe I'll buy a copy of that. Oh, I can't buy.
Yeah,
them
we
right
put up
now.
a few keys at E3 last year,
Yeah.
and they did not last super long.
Yeah.
And it was great. Everybody who jumped on gave us a bunch of super good feedback. And it's we don't do the super limited like lottery style keys anymore. So anybody who wants to kind of check out a turn-based survival jam in kind of its early stages and give us some feedback and thoughts. It's just kind of hanging out there on the itch.io.
You can.
What makes it a jam? Turn-based. Turn-based, I understand.
Yeah,
Survival. A lot of games are about survival these days.
they are.
Not
They
too
are.
many games with jamming these days. Name. Give me 10 other games that have jamming in them. Go.
NBA Jam.
Ooh.
That's all I can do. That's all I got.
That's one.
That's
One.
most. That's, yeah, I guess
One.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll give you that
10
one.
times.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. The NBA Jam probably counts for 10.
Yeah. That's good. It's like a Oregon Trail XCOM thing. So like you get like you meet up with kind of randos that sometimes want to take your stuff and sometimes they don't. And maybe you're buds and maybe you find a dog and maybe you find a station wagon and you kind of try to get over to California and you probably die horribly and alone in the wilderness.
That's how
Like-
it will go someday.
Yeah, I mean,
dog's fine,
it's
yeah.
road tripping with the likelihood of death is like
higher likelihood of death than a normal road trip.
Right, but
I don't know about drastically higher, but like significantly higher.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I drive 80 miles a day on most work days, and I ain't died yet.
Yeah, right. That's
Wait,
pretty
is
good pretty good track record. I feel like
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
All right.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm going to add that to my LinkedIn.
I got the
Killed
show
it.
also.
Yeah.
80 miles a day.
Yeah.
Not dead yet.
Not 80 miles a day.
100%
not
alive.
Dead yet. Find me on Mixler.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if Jeff is 100% alive. That's
No,
like,
dude.
that's a
It's
statement.
LinkedIn. You're a little.
Oh, you
Yeah.
pat
You
it.
do
You
kinda
pat it.
round
You
up,
fluff it.
you
You
round
fluff
up.
it.
round up.
Round up to
Yeah.
from 40 to 100.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
And Felix, you're here with are you here just with Tunic?
You know what? Actually,
Or are you kinda
yeah.
like,
I usually am here with like 5
I was gonna say, like, I
projects,
feel like every
and-
time I see you, you're like, I'm helping out I'm working on these 20 things.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
I'm
there was
still-
that brief stint with
with Dave.
Dave.
I am not currently working on anything at Iron Galaxy, but I am here primarily. I will say primarily.
Okay.
With Tunic the little Fox game, previously known as Secret Legend.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. Because
Right.
I was looking at Tunic earlier and going like, this looks like that other game from the PAX.
Yeah.
It looks almost exactly like
Yeah,
it.
it
does,
looks almost
does.
exactly like it.
Almost exactly. We've improved a few things, but no. So I brought Tunic. I keep saying Secret Legend. I keep saying it. It's bad. It's bad for the brand.
Did you bring the
Capital B
fursuits?
brand.
This is a transitional.
Also
this is a
from-
liminal
Yeah, it's
period
liminal
of brand
yes.
adaptation.
True.
And what happened? What happened with Secret Legend? Was it like just if someone else had it? and-
No, you know what? Secret Legend ended up being, so the SEO on it was really great. If you typed in Secret Legend to Google, you actually pulled us up. It was bizarre because
Yeah.
those two words are very common in
think,
video
yeah.
games individually.
It's
but
like
together,
the opposite of like a hard computer science problem where it's like, oh, computers can't solve this, but people know what it is. It was the backwards.
It was the backwards. So then,
People had no fucking idea what the game was called, but computers were like, it's definitely called Secret Legend.
because you would walk away from Secret Legend at PAX, let's say, as a player.
You'd be like,
and it was
furry
so
Fox
slippery.
Party.
So slippery. You were
Yeah.
like Secret of, Legend of,
Sure.
Fox game. And so everybody
of
just
Fox
referred
game.
to it as the Fox game, and we were like, okay, well that's a bad title as well. So let's call it something else. And
You
Tunic.
should have written a cool song, and it could have been like, "What is the Fox game?"
Oh, I'm so glad.
I definitely wouldn't have massively regretted that right away at all.
And then we ended up signing with Finji.
Okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
we're pairing with Finji on stuff with Tunic, and it'll be really good and fun and
Yeah.
exciting. And yeah, so that's who
we
I'm
did-
primarily here with, and then of course I'm still doing Polytron stuff and other stuff too.
Right,
So
yeah.
We put out a little game called Night in the Woods in February,
Yeah.
and Secret Legend is kind of, or Tunic.
See?
Tunic.
Legend of the Secret Tunic.
Fuck.
And I'm sure Tunic, you just type that into any search engine.
Oh,
and
it's
gonna
good.
come
The
back.
SEO is just
Nailed it.
excellent. Yeah,
Boom.
absolutely. That's a trade-off too.
Dollars.
Like, when you're we were talking about this earlier, but when you're deciding a new name on a game, pretty much everybody has the same tactic, and it's like, okay, we'll start a Google Doc, and we'll all put in the words that we think relate to the name or
yeah.
relate to the game in
Do you know
some way.
about thesaurus.com?
Yeah, no.
You, like, go
I used
in
to, I used to
there-
write raps, and sometimes you would need words that
Yo,
meant good.
We're not talking about you writing raps, okay?
We got like half an hour.
Okay.
There's time. We'll get it by the end.
All right.
But yeah, so
Circle back
we had
around.
this amazing doc called "Secret Legend is a Bad Name," and
Which is technically unfair, because it's a pretty good name,
Right.
but it was just
It's a pretty good name for like if you had like a spy game.
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
nothing-
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like if you drew an airplane, you're like, this, I fucking drew the best airplane, let's build it, and then you fly it off and it just crashes, and the drawing looks fucking great, everything about it should work, and it just doesn't.
Yeah, on
And
paper.
You gotta
You got to
build a
road
different
test
plane.
that. You got to flight test that before you realize that maybe it's
So-
not the way to go. Sure.
So in this doc, and like everybody does this when they're making a game. In this doc, you have like 400 words that are related to something that makes you feel like the game, or like when you're playing the game, like something related in a mood or a feeling. And at first you're like, yeah, all these words are pretty good, and then you realize at some point that they've lost all meaning beyond the context of that doc. So none of those words exist outside of that
Every
document
single
anymore.
word here represents a cursed word
Right.
that's part of the cursed word document,
Right.
and you can't use any of them, but you just put all the words that have anything to do with your game in it.
yeah.
So
that's-
now
I
you're
mean,
ruined.
That's how we kind of named a web. That's how we kind of named a website. As I
Right.
motioned to
No,
this
no,
thing.
I really was going to ask you.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure you went through this process.
Well, so the main thing I wanted is I didn't want the word game in the URL for the website because.
What about like a wild game reference like boss key or like,
For example, just pulling one out of the air, are you?
is that a thing?
That's
It's
Cliff
definitely a
Blazinski's
thing.
thing.
Fuck. I'm sorry, Cliff. Jeez.
Well done. Well
It could have
done.
been literally anything, and it
Yeah.
would be somebody else's studio.
Yeah, I
to
mean
be
you're
fair.
right. You're right. So
Boss dungeon. I don't know.
But
What, all
we
of it.
wanted something that would maybe be related to video games or evocative of video games, and we went down a few different holes, and we had a list of sort of like this cursed words doc. Like our biz dev guy knew a guy who owned a lot of URLs, which is like the most insane thing. I'm like, all right, and he said we can get him for a deal.
Can't you just get
Get the list.
I mean,
get the list.
well, he had registered them all. He was squatting on them. So I was like, so if we liked any of those, we'd get them at a discount. And I'm like, there are a bunch out there that you can just get for $11
Yeah,
or whatever.
like there's
I
so
don't-
many. You don't need to.
And we looked through his list, and he had.
Hey, listen, I got this list of URLs.
Okay,
that are
let's hear it.
already really overpriced.
This is McDonald's
Let's
party.
make sure we definitely pick one of these overpriced URLs.
That my buddy has. Yeah, it was. I don't know. And I believe on that list somewhere was thwomp.com.
Whoa, wow, wow, wow.
And
wow, wow, wow.
that was so we had come to giantbomb.com. We were like, games have bombs in them. That's all right.
Yeah, they do.
Why was,
Yeah.
why was it giant?
I forget.
You know, I've never asked this question. It's never even occurred
Yeah,
to me to ask
but
this
If you were
question.
gonna pick though, if you had to pick between giantbomb.com and like smallishbomb.com.
Okay.
If you had to pick.
If averagebomb.com is not as strong.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
Fucking run-of-the-mill.bomb.com
Yeah.
versus.
We wanted something that would be. Also, my other road test for URLs was I actually stood in my bathroom mirror and said them like I was on camera, which
No,
I should
that's
have
fair.
filmed because that's like something an insane person would do.
Yeah.
So it was literally just going like,
whole list.
check it out at giantbomb.com. It was like different.
You have a list of
inflections
overpriced URLs.
and-
Yeah,
yeah,
like, run
and
them
then
down.
just like okay, thwomp.com, and then
That's a good test though. Like honestly, like
No, it is.
the write out, say it out loud test. Like every, you know, like we technically have to send out press releases. It's not normally our jam, but like they serve a purpose.
Totally, yeah.
And like our press release run throughs, you have to go through and say every word in there out loud and not be super ashamed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like right
I mean,
away.
okay, so
Yeah.
you
Of
have to
everything
not
you're
be
saying.
super ashamed. Like
Super
we
ashamed.
are, to be fair, ashamed of
It's a little bit of shit. Oh, yeah,
almost every word.
we live in constant shame.
Good, good,
around
good.
this.
As long as we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because
shame couch.
Yeah. And the shame chair over here. I don't want to be left out of this shame
You're an important
circle
part of the
that we're
puzzle.
moving
It's
in
a
here.
shame ensemble.
Yeah. So yes. So giantbomb.com, we came to it. It was available, so we got it for the $11 or whatever it was. And then someone was literally like, "Well, the world can be a scary place. Are you sure you want to do this? Let's keep thinking." And by that point, we had already said it out loud so many times. I'm like, "No, fuck it. This name's too good." But we said like, all right, and went through a bunch of other stuff. And then there's thwomp.com. I was like, well, that Nintendo owns that word. It's
Right,
a character
right.
from their thing. As fun as that word is to say and kind of rolls off the tongue or whatever, like, no, we can't do that.
We're figuring out about like, cause like games do this sometimes where they're like, they'll call their game like, I don't know, Duke Nukem Forever.
Sure.
And then they'll
example.
then they'll
Because-
like just to pull one out of the air, and then they'll accidentally work on it for like 13 years,
Right,
and it'll like
right,
never
yeah,
come
yeah,
out.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
was there a
Yeah,
thing where you're like, oh, we're calling it Giant Bomb, which technically means colossal failure?
It was really great.
Is that
it,
like
was,
a-
it was a lot of fun because you got to fucking kick it down people's fucking throats. Because when we announced, before like when I was
Right,
working,
right,
I was
right.
working with these guys
Yeah,
and we hadn't
yeah.
announced what we were doing, and I went to GDC and ran into people that I know, and I was out of work technically, even though I was
Right.
already collecting a paycheck and we
Totally,
were building
yeah,
this site.
yeah.
And so I was going around to the show and doing my thing and like, hey man, what are you up to? I hope it's not launching a game website because there's way too fucking many of those. And I'm like, but yeah.
Yeah, and also it's called MassiveFailure.com.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we announced it on. I actually told the story. We announced it on G4.
Right.
Adam Sessler
I knew that,
had me on, and we said the name of the site.
Yeah.
And definitely, like the #1 reaction was from people like, "Oh, it's gonna be a giant bomb." And then,
snap.
like day one launch, big traffic, like
Yeah.
fucking. It led to a certain amount of just like we are fairly confident in this thing. Like we don't know how well it'll go, but we're pretty sure it'll be okay.
Yeah,
and then when
yeah,
it
yeah.
was kind of beyond our expectations,
That's like
you were
that
able to say
first
like,
date
check this out.
strategy.
I'm sorry,
I only ever
what?
went on one first date
I was
ever.
gonna ask you.
I only went on one first date ever, but the strat was
I mean, it worked out.
it worked out pretty okay. I'm not complaining, and the strat was say a bunch of super nerdy shit
Okay.
so that anybody who had hangups would be like, I can't be anywhere near this.
Okay.
And then you find out if there's hangups
Right.
or not.
Yeah.
So
just
like
kind
it's-
of all out there from the get go.
all in, and
Wow.
then if you're good by the second date, then
Yeah.
could be it's a good sign.
I feel like, that's fine. That's good. It
Got
worked.
strats.
It worked.
There's a dark version of this strat now, which you can look up on Reddit that I do not.
Right. That's what
condone.
That's what
okay.
I was
I
do
gonna
not
say, is
fucking
that there's
condone
a-
that.
I would say there's probably a dark version of naming your website after
Probably.
bombs or whatever that probably doesn't go too well
Oh,
either.
true.
So
Sure.
for
I haven't thought of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So we occasionally
Alright.
get.
I'm not renewing any
now
of
we're
those
selling
URLs
T-shirts
now.
and maybe don't wear them at an airport.
We
I
should
guess.
let those go.
yeah.
We should
So-
let those go.
itch.io.
Yeah, y'all have been like
that's
jabbering on
maybe
over there.
maybe
that's what we
the
do.
wildest
I guess so.
name, like of all this stuff. Like what?
I mean, why itch is my question. Like, what
yeah.
happened
Is
there?
it like scratch
scratch
that
an itch?
gamer itch? Like
These
that?
are all
Like
way good
pour
ideas.
Mountain Dew on the.
Yeah, that is 100% accurate. You got it. It is.
It's like I got
mainline
that
and
gamer
Mountain Dew.
itch and just pour this
Scratch
on
it.
Gamer itch is a separate thing. That's its own thing.
There's a
We don't talk
there's
about
a
that.
cream you
Yeah.
get,
Yeah,
you
that's-
get for.
They
They're
got
selling
that
it
powder.
at 3
They
with
got
all
that
those
powder.
sweet T-shirts.
Oh, geez,
Yeah.
I wish it were
that's
so
right.
exciting though. Yeah, oh no.
Great.
Yeah, it was just a domain that Leaf, the guy who built itch.io, was just squatting on. He's like, it sounded edgy, so
No,
He's that
that's the
friend-
name of the
he's that guy
website.
your guy knows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the guy. He's the one with the
sits
URLs.
on all of the URLs.
Man,
That's it.
that sounds real
He's
good.
got the trench coat and everything just to
Yeah.
print out
This
in
is
here.
not the universal symbol for I'm squatting on domains from 1999.
No, this is
I
this
think
is my
this
universal
is that.
symbol.
This is the universal URL squatter. You're surfing the web,
Oh, beautiful.
and then you're typing it into Hover with
Whoa.
offer code. No, what are we,
Yeah, what was that offer code we were going on? We're talking about a lot about
Wow.
branding here tonight.
Yeah,
like
let's
we're
get-
very
let's
up
knock this
on
out
it.
here.
Let's get that sponsored content. Like,
absolutely.
Is Hover? Okay.
Do you know the first round of what Finji was going to be called was going to be Ichiko? Literally one letter off of itch.io.
that is.
It was going to be like a K squeezed in between the
Yeah.
I and the O.
Ichiko.
Ichiko is Japanese for Weasel King,
I was gonna say. it's
which
not-
is like our logo is a little weasel with a little crown.
So it would have been a too removed reference to your children.
Oh no! It would have been just like appropriative and just shitty
Yeah,
all
also
around
that,
because
also that.
none of us are Japanese. It's not a thing, but like we wanted that like it was just shitty. I was like Casio sounds cool. We should do something that sounds like that.
I mean, Casio does.
It
to be
sounds
fair,
super cool.
Casio is a super cool.
and then we got
name.
screwed on domain names and we had to register finji.co and now it sounds like Casio again. So we won.
Yeah,
Well,
Finjico.
that's
But it worked out because now we're not
made
called
it.
Ichiko.
Do you know how
and
many
now
bounce
itch.io
emails I've
is all
had
freed
from
up.
Finji.com?
Yeah.
So many bounce
yeah.
emails.
You can't even put it in a website. They go like the website tries to be super helpful and it's like, are you forgetting an M?
Yeah.
Oh,
fucking
right,
idiot.
of course,
Oh.
yeah.
Speaking of which, okay, so Jeff is the reason that I have Felix.zone. In that, like, I was looking for a new website and I couldn't figure out what I was going to call it, and then Jeff DM'd me and was like, "Hey, Felix.zone is available, and if I tweeted this at you publicly, a bot would pick it up and register it immediately." So I can't. So I registered Felix.zone and I love it, and but the issue is that so many places, flights, mainly flights. But like anywhere where you register,
They don't
they
like-
don't parse for .zone TLD.
So
they
they
don't
think
it's
it's
a real
fake.
TLD, so they think it's
Yeah.
fake. So they won't let me sign up. So I have to sign up with like an email that I don't like, vegetasbulma@hotmail.com, which was my first email address.
Whoa.
ever.
Just
I was,
doxing
like,
yourself here?
14.
What are we
Oh, I
doing?
don't have the address for it.
Hang
anymore.
on,
Okay, all
right.
this is a corporate flight. Email me at xxvegeta420@yahoo.com.
that power move. Yeah, that's good.
Get me those
Dang.
freaking flyer miles.
I registered the shortest URL I could come up with specifically to type into forms with a phone. I just wanted, so I don't even have so I registered jeff.zone, but I don't put
Yeah.
email there because I have a separate domain that is short that I only punch into forms.
So it's like one letter at something else
Yeah.
dot 2 letters. Oh, that is
Yeah.
brilliant. I should do that.
It's really good,
That could
For
save me.
except for
one-handed-
when you decide that you want to tell it to someone in actual real life, and then you start reading it out, and they're like, "Fucking what?"
Right. Right.
This
but-
is good. I'm gonna go spend like $15 a year
To
on a
have
thing
this.
that's gonna save me
Yo,
several seconds.
I feel like it is worth it. You are joking, but apparently you don't use your phone to
Hey,
sign up for shit as much as we do.
I'm in the
how often
business
does
of
this happen?
business, okay?
Apparently. Time is money.
How often does
When
this
I'm
happen?
when I'm telling the URL people where to send their list of
Earl people,
URLs,
what's wrong with you, Earl people?
Earl, I don't like to say Earl. It just,
Really?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce Super
That's fucked
Nintendo?
up.
Super Nintendo.
You don't say SNES or SNES?
I don't say SNES. I might say SNES, but I just
Oh,
either
see,
SNES or Super Nintendo.
So you won't say
SNES?
Earl, but you will say SNES.
Yeah. Yeah. Earl just sounds like
Yes.
All right.
Earl sounds
right.
like we're talking about
I don't-
E40. Earl E40 Fonzarelli, Earl Stevens.
We're back to that rapping we were talking about
entrepreneur.
earlier.
He's got his own malt liquor. He's got his own wine now. Earl Stevens Selects.
Does he?
Yeah.
Tell me about this wine.
You know, I've seen it advertised. I have not had it.
You have not.
But as for E40's malt liquor, I can say that it does have like a honey tinge to it.
That's not Slurricane, right? Or is that?
No, Slurricane's a separate beverage.
Oh.
But also from Earl.
Walk me through the whole thing.
My
I want to
apologies.
know the bouquet. I want to know
Mouthfeel.
the first introduction,
notes,
and I want to know the
the
finish.
notes.
All right, Slurricane is like a sloppy pile of fruity sugar that you pour in your mouth and go, As it's still there, you're already kind of rubbing your tongue on your teeth, going, I have to get this off my tooth.
Oh, so it leaves that fuzz. That
Yeah,
fuzz.
oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes like garbage wine.
Pixy Stix,
and-
regret.
Yeah.
Pez.
You know, I've never had Pixy Stix. So I grew up.
You never had
Wow.
Pop Rocks either.
No,
What
you were the first
fuck?
one.
Well, you know,
So
they got Pop Rocks Oreos now.
my what?
Yeah.
The pop in the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
They do the whole thing.
Do the thing.
Okay,
But
so
it's
But
in
they're
a,
Oreos.
it's in a
I
cookie
I tried Pop
sandwich.
Rocks. To be fair, everybody, I tried Pop Rocks for the first time in my life last year at Evo. That's when
Yeah.
it was last year.
Last year? Year before.
That's a good place
It wasn't
for it.
last July.
And so we were hanging out, and they had heard I'd never tried them, and like every good friend, they immediately stopped talking and just told me to put them in my mouth because I was worried about. I was
just
like,
had
not
them- we had
sure.
brought them. like
Normally
you do,
not
we're just like,
the
hey,
sort
we-
of thing you like say yes. You're like, what?
Yeah.
No, do not.
No, yeah,
we
exactly.
brought our normal supply of Pop Rocks to our hotel,
Sure.
and then somebody says, Pop Rocks, what are those? You're just
And so they
like,
didn't warn me, like at all, what was
what are
going
you
to
gonna,
happen.
what are you gonna spoil
To be fair, the spoilers in the name, I just didn't
It's like
think
this.
that was
It's
real.
like no. It's like the Sixth Sense of candy. Like there's no.
I just didn't think that could pop. I was like, sure, Pop Rocks. I don't know what that means.
Unfortunately,
but
no one
there's-
can be told
There's
what
no
the Pop
way
Rocks do.
they pop in my mouth. That's impossible.
Yeah, that's
And
not
then,
real. Yeah.
There's a video somewhere online of me like trying them and being like horrified that this thing is occurring in my face, and like genuinely worried that I was gonna die. And then, but anyway.
It's a good time. So how is E3? I mean, are you like doing meetings and seeing
transition.
press and doing stuff at E3? Or just
topic
kind of
of
like
E3.
hanging out, seeing the show?
Pop Rocks meetings.
Yeah.
On the topic of Pop Rocks. you guys
Speaking
are
of
fucking
Pop Rocks,
boring.
let's talk about
You guys are
Pop
fucking boring.
Euler Video Game Trade Show.
Oh, there we go. I would say E3 rocks.
I'd say E3's popping.
What? I feel like we've exhausted the jokes instead of
done.
Pop Rocks. There are two things
like
we've got to
I just said your joke again.
That's
but, like,
that's your A and your
yeah.
B there. So
Your show's over. We made it, guys.
Yeah,
It's,
all right, great.
gang, it's-
Thanks, everybody.
Ship it.
2018. See you in 11 months and change. And
Lordy.
yeah, race the board. Let's go.
It's good. I mean, I was on the PC gaming show on yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years since I've been there.
It really seems. Yeah.
Day 4032.
E3 continues.
E3.
It needs like a
E3.
news crawl, like a full. It needs a logo. It needs like a CNN fucking. This
Yeah.
shit is still happening logo.
I've learned to metabolize the concrete of the LA street.
Yeah.
That's all I have for food now.
Tuesday, day one of E3. Yes, it's still happening.
Yeah.
So
It's
the PC gaming show was fun. It was a really good show.
Cool.
I feel like it was my first like a live stage performance thing where I had to say a thing I'd memorized and not on a teleprompter because like I'm used to speaking from a teleprompter or like hanging out on a couch. Like I'm used to
Right,
just
yeah.
chilling on a couch and we'll fucking talk about Pop Rocks for a full 5 minutes until Jeff stops us.
Yeah. You'll drink like nacho cheese and vodka.
Yeah, I'll
you know,
drink
just
like nacho cheese and then actually have to walk off stage and vomit in the tiny bathroom there. And that happened. And thanks, yeah, it was really great. I love coming on the show is the point. And Dan Reichert is the worst person. And so I
Agreed.
agreed, yeah.
No,
just
yes,
so,
that's absolutely.
So this is easy. It's fun and great. And it's between friends. But when you know there's like this weird timing and like this cue and a bunch of people that are not in games are running cameras.
Oh, yeah,
Because they
that's-
don't know, they're not in games. And so they're just like, okay, and we're gonna throw you the symbol that we throw people in TV or whatever.
And then
I'm
they do
like,
one of
I'm like,
these.
what do you do?
And you're like, no.
Yeah, this, they do this.
Well, the cool
Yeah.
thing is
What
like
is
when
Oh,
you're,
the URLs. Okay, great. Yeah. Look forward to
when,
Tunic.
like, when you're
Party.
watching
What?
a presser though, like it looks like a bunch of professionals doing this real thing on purpose, and all the pieces fit together.
Right.
Which is like a lot like video games. You play video games, you're like, oh yeah, a bunch of professionals who know exactly what they're doing. Put all these things together on purpose, and they're all doing this cool thing. And like it's all like like
lie.
any other
It's a
thing
lie.
you do.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lie.
yeah. There's a little
It's
bit.
one big lie.
A little bit smoke
that
and
we
mirrors.
like to tell. At least at Giant Bomb, you know, you're upfront about the fact that
We spent a good long time doing it that way
Right.
to know exactly why we shouldn't keep doing
exactly.
it that way.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you're on stage and someone is like in 5, 4, 3, and then they stop talking and you're like, 3 what?
So see, did you watch?
5,
Did you ever
4,
see
3.
Wayne's
3
World?
what? Did you stop talking?
Did you ever see Wayne's World? If you'd seen Wayne's World, you would know
Fuck.
every single countdown we have where it's got that is
Right.
all I can think of,
Right.
and that's how I get it right every time.
Yeah, no, okay. So anyway, it was good. It was a fun a thing to sort of partake in and like talk. And also, it was a reveal. And like revealing a thing you've been working on for so hard for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main developer on the game does everything. So Dicey does on Tunic. Take previously known as Secret Legend, which I have to say for a little while to get myself adjusted. He is the programmer, the artist, the designer,
Animator,
the animator.
level designer.
Yeah, he's like everything
combat.
except for sound, which is the incredibly talented Power Up Audio that did like Towerfall
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
Darkest Dungeon.
Darkest
Yeah,
Dungeon,
awesome.
and then Lifeformed, who did Dust Force and a bunch of other stuff. And so like
Double Fine Adventure.
yeah, Double Fine. So we have like an incredible sound team, and then Dicey, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so,
So like
being up
normally,
there-
like in a company, there's like you have like maybe even more than one programmer.
Right.
More than one artist,
Mm-hmm.
like a quote-unquote team of people who produce all
Like
of
if
the.
someone gets sick, work still continues.
Sure,
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
case. And so being on stage and representing a thing, or like coming to E3 and representing a thing that is like done by one dude is sort of like, okay, I carry the weight of everyone, but it is one man on my shoulder.
He's sitting there going like, hey, don't fuck this up, okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I have one man to answer to,
Yeah.
and he will be disappointed equally in all of those departments if I
Right.
fuck up.
Yeah.
But
MVP,
super.
MVP.
It's only my life. It's only my life.
It's
It's only my
only
life you're playing with up there.
Exactly.
Read the thing good, I guess.
Yeah.
So-
But super politely because he's Canadian.
He's the
Okay,
nicest
all right,
man.
yeah, nice, yeah. That's fantastic. And then how does Finji play into this?
We're doing our thing. Like it's weird because like we got put on a list on a website somewhere that we're a publisher,
Okay.
right? Which
Yeah.
is fine because technically that's a thing that we do. But like historically, publishers are this big thing that do a bunch of useful things. They do a bunch of marketing, they do a bunch of funding, they do distribution. They like put your game in a box and send it to Walmart, and we don't do that yet. For whatever reason.
Work on the Walmart Connect.
Working on that. Working on those.
The itch is in Walmart, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how.
If
all of
anybody
our-
can do this,
Right, right,
actually,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Leaf could probably figure out how to
Actually,
do
to be
this
fair,
tonight.
to be
Like,
fair,
yeah.
You heard it here first.
But
Slash itch.io slash
so-
Slash Walmart, yeah.
the other thing you get is from the other side, though, where you get people who are like, "Oh, I know how to make a video game. I can do the part. I can do all the part where
Yeah.
all the bad guys fight, and we'll do all the things."
Yeah.
And like, historically, that has not been enough to like ship a video game that people like buy and have a good time playing and
not
stuff.
in the
like,
past 5 years or so.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
normally there's like other people involved who do stuff like helping you run a small company and talking to you so you don't go crazy and
Yes.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
That's important.
yeah. So a lot of what we've been doing, like a lot of what we did on Night in the Woods, a lot of what we're doing on Tunic, which is pretty much just trying to be the other half of people's studios, because it's easy for us to show. We're the other half of our own studio,
Sure.
and we have a little leftover space, and it's cool to work on something else that comes across, and it's beautiful and intriguing, and the designer's trying to do something that we haven't seen people do before, and one way or another, we kind of fall in love with the thing, and we want to kind of like get involved, and it's always. It sounds super cheesy, but it's kind of an honor for somebody to let us in and let us kind of tinker with their project and help them. We feel like we're there to help them, do the thing that they were trying to do in the first place. Help them find the thing that they were trying to find already.
Right.
And so, like, we've been working on and off with Andrew for like over 2 years now. And trying to get a feel for like what's he trying to do and why is he trying to do it and like what's the underlying goal and like what's the weird stuff that you're trying to do here, because it's not like, I think when people see the video they're kind of like, oh, it's like a Zelda with a fox, or Dark Souls with a
What
fox.
if you called it Zelda like a fox? What do you think?
Right?
That's the song you were talking about earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
Put it in the doc.
Fucking
Put it in the next
Christ.
version of the doc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Until-
Tunic is a bad name. Doc. First entry, Zelda like
Zelda
a fox.
like a
Zelda
fox.
like
See, it
a
rolls off the dock.
fox.
It
Get in the
does,
bathroom,
it
read
Alright,
it
I
off
got
a few
it.
I'm
times.
gonna say it in the mirror over and over again.
Yeah.
I already have the Earl, so
Earl,
we're good.
Oh, thank God you've got
Alright.
the Earl.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Make those,
Yeah, we need itch.io/Zelda like a fox.
Formerly
now.
known as Tunic, formerly known as Secret Legend.
I mean, that's the full
The
title.
full
Yeah.
You don't
URL.
pronounce the full title. It's just there. And I need colons, by the way. So I don't know if you can add colons in a URL.
We will find a way. We will.
Because I need to be
Actually,
able
we
to
only
say,
have underscores.
fuck.
Yeah. I think you have emoji URLs now. So.
You
can.
You know,
That
I
is
tried to
confirmed.
register an emoji URL recently, and it didn't work, and I was like really upset.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was upset that I couldn't register an emoji URL, and was like,
This is where we
how
are
did I
now.
get here?
I,
What is
yeah, I
happening
assumed
right
I
now?
assumed
Like,
the emoji movie just registered them all. You know.
there's an emoji movie?
Yeah.
Oh boy! All right.
Okay.
Okay. We are.
No, I
Who's making
actually,
Actually, no.
No.
There's no emoji.
Okay.
movie.
no.
It's not happening.
Nope.
It's not real.
This is a lie.
We're gonna keep you in a better world than
Yeah.
maybe
No,
the rest. of
No.
Just
but
imagine you
actually-
never tried the Pop Rocks. That's what we're doing here for you.
What are Pixy Stix, by the way? Because that's how that started. What
What?
are they? What are
Pixie.
they?
Okay, so Pixy Stix. So imagine like
Are they
so
just
like
those long tubes
Yeah.
of sugar?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
the
That my
sugar's
friends
flavored.
in high school thought it was funny to snort,
Yes,
and I didn't understand
exactly.
what they
That
were
is
doing.
exactly what it is.
and
Okay,
not super
thank you.
funny. Little funny.
Didn't
Not
try
super
it.
funny.
Didn't ever stick around to see them do it.
It's
so
bad
didn't
on both
really-
ends. Like, you know, I don't like them in the mouth. I
Bad
don't like
on
them in the
both
nose. Yeah, and don't butt chug Pixy Stix. I mean, for the love of God, like, let's be fucking reasonable here. Like, that's just crazy talk.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I like
will.
that.
We're adults here.
Yeah.
For the record,
responsible.
I feel like I don't want to tell anybody what to do with their life, but
Fair enough. Yeah, you know, hey, I had a role
mean-
model. Do what you feel. I don't know. What are you into? It's not up to me.
I don't know if I can keep being on this show. This is a bad influence to the children. Slurricane,
all right.
I'm down with that.
Okay, all right.
But I draw the line at butt chugging Pixie Stix.
I mean, if
That
you're
is-
letting your child watch that,
Slurricane
Fair
is
enough.
like
There are multiple
already-
flavors. So I got one bottle of Slurricane, drank the entire bottle, and the next day my wife was like, "Yeah, it was weird. You got weird." I was like,
Just
"Nah, fair
no
enough."
elaboration. Just, it was
Yeah,
all wrong.
it was all
something
weird.
was
I
bad here.
remember playing No Man's Sky and watching a wrestling tournament. That's how I remember the Slurricane night going down.
Was it
Did
you
that
watching-
happen? Did that happen?
Yeah, did it happen?
Can we confirm?
Did you watch a wrestling tournament, or was it just like the Rumble at PAX? Like, were you just attending?
I think I just had some videos going on my computer while No Man's Sky. I was playing that on the PS4, and
You were just staring at a wall, and you're like, "Oh, this is a great
this
match.
is great. It's
This is the
Slurricane.
one.
Great song, better
Take me away,
drink.
E40."
No Man's
Yeah.
Sky is underrated.
Yeah, this game is fantastic. I'm a spaceman.
That's they should have shipped down the collector's edition. Here's your game, also a bottle of Slurricane.
Also, a bottle of Slurricane. That's
Dang it.
if it had come with that instead of some plastic ship or whatever it was. I think the public reaction to that game would have been.
No Man's Sky 2. Let's
Did
get
you
it. Let's
drink
get it
the stuff
started.
that was in the plastic ship?
No, I cut the plastic ship open, poured the Slurricane into it, and drank it out of the head of the plastic ship. like
I
had
have
killed
lost
ship
the
and-
plot. I've officially lost the
Yes.
plot.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for coming by. Spencer, where can we find out more about itch.io?
I believe it is.
What's the URL? What's the URL?
itch.io. What is the Earl of itch.io?
What's-
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go off brand here.
well,
I have no
look
idea.
it up
We'll
later.
figure
Maybe
it
we can
out.
Post it in the show notes or something.
That's
like that.
what's up.
Finji, you got Overland and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. If people are at the show, because now it's open to the public, are you out there somewhere where people could see a thing? Are you at the Mix? Are you over?
We're at Mix, yeah. So
Yeah,
we're
we're gonna
on
be at,
Wednesday.
We're gonna be at the Mix
Is that
tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
Fuck
night.
you.
What?
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow. It's fine. It's
E3.
fine.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
that's a very E3 kind of noise. That's tomorrow? And where can people find out about Zelda Like a Fox?
Zelda Like a Fox is at tunicgame.com.
And ZeldaLikeAFox.zone.
And don't
See,
no.
now that you're
That's
on
not.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
have
fake
to-
Earl.
well,
If Dicey
Earl,
is
that's not a
watching-
real one.
I think Dicey's in the chat, even though it's like 2 in the morning for him or something.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
if he's in
he's
the chat, I
registering.
really
sorry,
hope
Andrew.
he's registering. ZeldaLikeAFox.com.
All right.
Someone's got it by
That
now.
zone.
We've said it enough
That
times.
zone.
Now,
Someone's
That
got
enough
it.
time has
Those
passed.
good
This is definitely
TLDs.
gone. It's now a porn site.
Well,
All right. Well, we're gonna let you go. Thanks so much for coming by.
No, thank you.
All right.
Grabbing
We
us.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we will take another break, and we'll be back with another couch full of guests soon. Ah!